Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video, Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes. This is episode 14 of that series. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I do value your time. I promise I will make it as worthwhile as possible. Computer posture can be a very painful and boring topic. I try to create content that is free of cost, open-minded, relatable, and easily actionable. Quick note, the info in this presentation is not medical advice. It's based off my experience and my opinions. I talk about good habits that have helped me live a higher quality, sedentary lifestyle. Do your research, make good decisions, and be the best possible advocate you can be for your own health care. The specific goals of my channel are to help the user decrease pain caused by sitting at a computer, increase energy, improve mental clarity, and increase work productivity. Decrease pain caused by sitting at a computer is always going to be my number one goal, but all four of these are benefits of improving computer posture and computer ergonomics. Quick note about me, again, my name is Todd Bowen. I've got an information technology degree, so I've taken a lot of computer classes like workstation ergonomics and user experience. Lifelong athlete and exerciser, and I've also lived a sedentary lifestyle for the last 20 plus years since I got out of college. Here's a quick look at my website, sittingposture.com. If you want to, you can sign up for my email newsletter that I send once a week on Fridays. I don't spam people. Just go to sittingposture.com and enter your email address here. What I'll put in that email every week is a link to the article that I write for my website that week, as well as 2 links to the YouTube videos that I posted on my YouTube channel that week. All right, let's get into it, get into some pictures here and talk about computer posture mistakes and fixes. One more thing, I'm not compensated by any product sellers or manufacturers, so there's no paid promotion in this video. If I talk about a desk or a chair or a keyboard or something like that, no one has paid me to talk about it. It's products that I have paid my own money for that have helped me improve my quality of life. So let's look here. Let's look at how the user's not taking advantage of the back support. We don't need to fully lean back onto that back support, but we do need to acknowledge it's there and take advantage of it. So we do need to let the back support take a little bit of the gravity off of our upper torso, because otherwise we just end up leaning forward like this guy is here. You can see the inflammation in his spine, the forward slouching, also known as kyphosis in that upper back. What happens is the spine, the discs in the spine and the front of the spine get crushed just a little bit, and the discs in the back of the spine get overextended. So they're getting pulled apart. The ones in the front are getting crushed, and what that does, is it creates all kinds of problems and muscle confusion within the back. Also, I want to mention, look down here at his feet. He's got one foot tucked underneath him. I used to sit like this with both feet underneath me for the longest time, and it caused a lot of issues. What happens is stress would cause me to tighten up my hamstring and pull that foot underneath me so that it's not flat on the floor. And what happens is the front of the ankle gets compressed and the back of the ankle gets overextended. So again, muscle confusion there from front to back. It caused a lot of ankle dysfunction as well as knee dysfunction. So definitely sit with your feet flat on the floor. Like this guy right here, he's got his feet flat on the floor, taking advantage of the back support. You'll notice the natural curvature of the spine is intact. So when people say sit up straight, that doesn't mean the spine is straight. The spine has got these natural curves in them. So we need to get familiar with the lumbar region down here in the lower back. The thoracic spine's got a different curve in the other direction. And then the cervical spine is pretty straightforward, pretty straight up. It's a little bit of curves, but it's got that head above the torso. If we hold this head, if we get to hold this head forward in front of our torso, that forward head posture will wear us out in no time, especially after 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Here's a quick look at a young woman, obviously working in like a coffee shop or maybe a remote office or something like that. It's obviously not her everyday work location. I understand laptops are very convenient and we need to use them when we travel. It's a huge benefit to us. The problem we get into trouble with in posture is when we use them for long extended periods of time. So if she's just working here for 15, 30 minutes or maybe even an hour, that's okay. But what I will mention here is her elbows. If she's got to engage her arms that much to put her elbows up level with the keyboard, that's not a good situation at all. I wouldn't want to sit in that situation for more than 10 or 15 minutes because what that's doing is contracting all the bicep muscles as well as the muscles in the front of her shoulder and extending the external shoulder rotators in the back of her shoulder. So that's overworking a lot of muscles just to get her elbows on that table. What I would do, obviously it may not be an option for her here, but what I would do is make sure my chair was raised. So what that would do is that would bring her elbows up to about this height when she is sitting straight up and her arms are straight. That way she can comfortably place her hands on the keyboard and mouse. Speaking of which, the keyboard and mouse, the laptop is crooked. So I'm always conscious of that. I'm always trying to work straight forward with all my devices. I don't want them to be angled at all because what it's going to do is going to cause compression on one side of the body and on certain muscles, and then overextension on those same muscles on the other side of the body. So it's creating confusion throughout the body if we sit and use a device like this crooked for long periods of time. And obviously the extended monitor would do her a lot of good if it's possible when at her full-time working location. That way her eye level would be even with the top of the monitor screen and she wouldn't be slouched forward so much. And that extended monitor just plugs into the computer with an HDMI cable. Very simple and straightforward, no software to download. You just plug it in and all of a sudden you've got two monitors. Let's take a look at this. Is a little bit over exaggerated, but there's a lot of good examples here. His monitor's a little crooked. It's also pretty far away from him. I would definitely benefit, if it was me, I would pull this keyboard a lot closer to the edge of the table so it would allow me to sit back. He is taking advantage of the back support. However, he's leaning forward so bad that his lower back, his lumbar curve is just gone. Even though he's resting against the back support, his lumbar curve's not correct right now. His upper back's leaning forward. So yeah, bring the monitor closer to him, bring the keyboard and the mouse closer to him. Another thing I want to mention about this keyboard and mouse, it's a very bulky, high keyboard. So what he's got to do, you can see it, he's got to engage those wrist muscles just to lift those hands onto the keyboard. So that's what I used to do. I used to have a keyboard like this and a mouse that's real bulky and high off the table, and it caused carpal tunnel syndrome in my wrists. A lot of people think that carpal tunnel syndrome is something caused in the hands and the fingers. It's actually caused, in my case, by engaging the wrist muscles all day long to lift them onto a tall, bulky keyboard. So there's definitely a great benefit to getting a flat, slimmer, low profile keyboard and mouse. And that would definitely benefit him a lot. I would bring that in, and I would bring the monitor in closer to him and sit back and take advantage of this back support. He probably needs to raise his chair up a little bit. And I will mention these chairs right here, I used to sit in a chair exactly like this. These chairs are terrible because these armrests, if he raises his chair up, this armrest is probably going to hit the table and get in his way, so he can't raise it up enough, or he won't even be able to get close enough to the desk to use the keyboard. Not to mention, these armrests will make him, even if he does take advantage of them, even if they did line up height-wise, elbow height-wise, it's going to cause him to lift his elbows out laterally to the sides, and that's going to cause a lot of stress up in these lateral shoulder muscles and even through the tricep. This is speaking from experience. I'd sat like this for a long time, and finally I realized these armrests are a problem. I actually wrote an article about office chair armrests. I'll put the link down to it in this description. It is pretty easy to remember though. It's sittingposture.com/armrests if you want to check that article out. All right, here's another one. Computer screen, obviously way too far forward. Here's a slimmer keyboard that I was talking about. You can see how his wrists are much more relaxed than the previous guy. His wrists are engaged and going up at an angle, not quite a 45-degree angle, but they're going up. This guy's wrists are much flatter and much less activated than the previous guy. You can tell this is a royalty-free picture because he doesn't have a mouse unless it's way over here. In that case, he would definitely need to bring it in here, or actually even closer to the edge of the table like we talked about in the last video. I'd bring this keyboard, if it was me, all the way back to the edge of the table, allowing him to sit back and rest a little bit. And of course, he does have the big monitor, which is great. I would definitely pull this much closer to him so he doesn't feel like he has to lean forward to read it. All right, let's take a look at a standing desk user. This guy's got pretty good posture. First thing I'll mention is that his feet are a little bit offset. One's in front of the other, which is okay as long as he doesn't always stand in that position, because that could cause problems from one side of the body to the other. Compression on one side, overextension on the other, which would cause muscle confusion. The second thing I want to mention, he's got the big monitor working off his laptop. You can even see the HDMI cable right there. That's awesome. But the thing is, I would definitely raise this extended monitor up a little bit to be eye level. The top of the screen should be eye level. So he's still looking down at a 45-degree angle just to see the top of his screen. That could create, speaking from experience, a lot of tension in the upper back, traps, and overextension of the spine and the cervical spine, and even down to the thoracic spine too. This guy's got his elbows pulled out to the side. I'm not too sure why. I don't like that though, because like I said in one of the last slides, it's causing him to engage and activate lateral muscles in his arm, whether it's shoulder, tricep, whatever it is. He's using muscles to hold that elbow out like that, that don't need to be used. So I would definitely let that elbow relax a little bit and come closer to my body. Maybe if he dropped his desk down just an inch or two, maybe that would allow him to relax his elbows more. It's hard to say from this angle. All right, here we want to look at this example of, here's the monitor where the height should be. Top of the monitor screen is at eye level. This guy's got his elbows even with the keyboard and mouse. I like to have my elbows just a little bit higher. So if this was my desk, I would lower it just a little bit so I can keep these lower arms, the forearms, at just a little bit of a downward angle. That allows me to relax my bicep more and contract the tricep a little bit more. But my tricep is a lot tougher. It can withstand a lot more stuff than that bicep. If you're activating that bicep all day long, which I used to do, that could easily cause tendonitis in the shoulder tendons, because those two bicep muscles are connected to the shoulder by two tendons that can easily get overused just because of the contraction of the bicep. So anyway, this desk, I would lower it a couple inches if it was me. But he's got this, the main reason for this is the top of the monitor is at eye level, top of the screen. So looking at these two pictures and comparing them, you can see how he looks down at a 45-degree angle just to see the top of the screen. He's looking down, this user over here on the right is looking down at a 45-degree angle just to see the bottom. So he's hardly ever looking down at a 45-degree angle. And one more photo here we want to look at. Most of these variables, just about all these variables apply whether we're standing or sitting. So eye level at the top of the monitor screen when sitting, eye level at the top of the monitor screen when standing. Over here, elbow is above desk level. Over here, elbow is above desk level. Just like I talked about earlier, we don't want it to be below desk level, because that's when we have to contract our bicep to have that forearm in an upward angle. And that's not good to keep that bicep contracted all day long. Like I said, I like to lower this just a little bit, have my forearm at just slightly at a downward angle. And last but not least, feet flat on the floor. Feet flat on the floor or a footrest over here. So eye level, top of the monitor screen, elbows just above desk level, and feet flat on the floor or footrest. And that's it for today's video, Computer Posture, Mistakes and Fixes, episode 14. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving the quality of your life, and that's definitely something to be proud of. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you can sign up for free email updates if you'd like. Sittingposture.com/newsletter. I only send out one email a week. That's every Friday. And then that email includes a link to the article that I wrote for my website that week, as well as 2 links for the YouTube videos that I posted to my YouTube channel that week. You can also, another free resource that I have is a computer posture checklist. This is how to sit at a computer with good posture. I haven't done a checklist yet for standing, but this one is just sitting, sittingposture.com/checklist. It's a downloadable PDF that's easy to, you can print it out and post it at your desk as a consistent reminder. It's got 14 easy cues, or steps, I should say, 14 easy steps to sit at a computer with good posture. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see my videos in your feed more often, youtube.com/@sittingposture. Thanks everybody for the subscribes recently and the views. One more note, all my content is free, and I always plan on it being free. The more people that see my videos, the more ability I have to make more content. So with that said, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. That would help me out big time. I really appreciate it. And one final note, feel free to forward this video to a friend or family member who sits at a computer full time. That is the ultimate compliment. If you got something worthy out of this video and you trusted enough to send to your friend or family, that is the ultimate compliment. Thanks, guys. That's it for today. Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. This has been Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes, episode 14. Thanks. I'll see you guys in the next video.